Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
There we go. So thank you, Karin, for the introduction. And just as I was mentioning earlier, this event is the event that I have been looking forward to for a long time. And I'm so grateful that the day is here and I'm here with all of you. And before I get into my story, I just kind of wanted to give a little bit of like when the journaling is going to happen for those who like to know when events are going to be taking place. So I'm going to also ask you questions because I definitely do not want to be a talking head for 60 minutes. So I will be asking you questions as well. I'll share a little bit about my book, my why did I decide to write it, a little bit more about who I am. And then after that, I would love to take you through a guided meditation. It's not going to be super long. And the purpose for that is just to help us get grounded before the journaling exercise so that you're open to receiving whatever messages will come as I go over the journaling questions. And then after we're done journaling, I always like to open it up to the group for those who feel like sharing. I never ever want anybody to feel like they have to, but if you would like to share your responses to any of the questions, would love to learn more about you as well. And then I do want to leave you with one question that I will ask at the end of everybody. And you can even just think about the words and what it could mean to you right now. But the name of the book that I wrote is called Painting Your Path. And I always love asking people, well, what does painting your path mean to you? So I'll share what it means to me, but I also just wanted to put that out there for you to begin thinking about. So how does that sound? Sound good? Can I get a thumbs up?
Yeah.
Awesome. Wonderful. So I'm going to ask a question now. So on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being low energy, 10 being high energy, how's your energy right now? On a scale of 1 to 10. High, I see Dick with his hand up here. High. Prakash,
Oh, yeah.
nice.
Hi.
Oh, good. All right. Looks like, okay, Janice is at a 5. Totally get that. Totally get that. And let's see. All right. Mostly high and middle, and then in the middle. Fantastic. So as Karin said, my name is Clarissa Castillo Ramsey, and I wrote the book Painting Your Path. But before I get into that, I'll just share a little bit more about who I am. I just describe myself as a multi-passion entrepreneur. I have so many things that I enjoy doing in life. I'm an artist. I'm an abstract artist. I love painting with acrylic. I love doing watercolor and collages. I also enjoy writing, and I enjoyed writing as a little child as well as painting. So those are 2 things that I have always loved doing. I love creating stories and I love painting. I'm also an organizational psychologist by education. So for me, another common thread that I've had in my entire life is this desire to help people achieve whatever dreams, whatever visions they have in their life. And so working with other people, helping other people discover new possibilities is also a passion of mine. And I live in Southern California, in Altadena to be exact. I'm right by JPL and the Rose Bowl. So that's where I live, and I've been here since the late 90s. And before that, I lived in Boston, Massachusetts. That's where I went to school for my undergrad. And I stayed there 2 years after I graduated, but then I couldn't stand the snow. I was tired of shoveling my driveway, so I moved out here to sunny California. And my brother went to Caltech, so he was already here when I moved out here, and my best friend was out here. So many great reasons to relocate to California. And that's a little bit about me. So I'm going to pause and ask you to, if you'd be open to it, to just share a little bit about you. You can write it in the chat, anything that you feel comfortable sharing, maybe a hobby or your favorite vacation spot. But I'll pause.
I'm not going to use chat because I can't see very well, but I love that you live in Altadena. Altadena is full of artists and writers and musicians, and I've lived here all my life, so I'm glad to know there's another wonderful person in Altadena. And yes. I'm an artist, and I write and I teach.
Beautiful. Thanks for sharing, Karen. Would anybody else like to share? Hi. Yes, Karen.
Well, I just moved here about 5 years ago. I think I'm going into my 6th year. And I just learned about the village several months ago, and I've enjoyed participating so far. I'm a poet, and I would like to publish my book at some point.
Wonderful.
I'm looking for ways to get unstuck.
Okay, yeah, and we'll definitely talk about ways to get unstuck for sure. And that's beautiful. You write poetry, and I self-published my book through Amazon, and it was actually pretty easy.
Okay, neat.
Yeah, thanks for sharing.
Thank you.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great. I don't have a camera. I'm at work, and it's my lunchtime. So I saw this, your time or your information came up from the Pasadena Now, and I saw that yesterday, and I was curious as to what Painting Your Path is all about, and would like to know about it. I love to read, and I'm almost towards retirement, and I would love to do stuff in my retirement. And so I'm here to find out what this is all about, and see if I'm curious, so I'm here.
Wonderful. So happy to have you.
Thank you.
Would anybody else like to share?
I'll just say I've been in California about 4 years now, and my hobby and my avocation is Pasadena Village.
I love it.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing.
He's our anchor man.
Wonderful. And I see Janice also wrote, I'm from Pasadena. I like to travel, and the research behind traveling, it really fuels my soul. That's beautiful. I love traveling too. And I did a lot more traveling in my 20s and 30s. This year I'm turning 50, and I would like to get back to traveling international. We'll see. It's not happening this year, but hopefully next year I'll get to do that. Well, it has.
I am a new member. I'm a new member of the village. I also like traveling. I like reading. I'm interested in painting a little bit, but I'm not very good at it. I would really like to do music. I'm sad that I never did music in my life, but I'm finding it very hard because my mind is not filled with music. So it's becoming very difficult for me. Somebody told me you could start at any age and things like that. So before I came back from that meeting, I bought myself a harmonica.
Oh, nice.
That's great.
I think that's great.
And I've been trying to blow on it, but it's not blowing to my liking.
Well, Prakash, maybe you need to paint your path first.
Okay. I'll paint the harmonica.
There you go. There you go. Thank you so much for sharing and nice to meet you. And I think we have a comment in here. I'm just going to check. I also live in Pasadena and love to travel with my husband. And my name is Josette. Josette, nice to meet you. Thanks for writing. And you know what? I'm going to also ask this question, if you don't mind, because a lot of us here love to travel. What has been one of your favorite places to visit? I would love to know. What has been one of your favorite places?
Norway.
Norway. I've always wanted to go there.
Oh, I love
Patty.
Petite. This is Petite.
Petite. Oh, I'm sorry. I misread. Petite.
That's okay. Understandable. Anyway, I love Hawaii, and also have been to Spain and been to Barcelona, and that's absolutely gorgeous in every way. And actually, any place in the world is a fascinating place. And we went to Mexico City for our honeymoon. So that's was a very good experience and interesting.
Wonderful.
Yes. So
thank you. Thank you for sharing. And I'm actually going to Hawaii next week for my 50th.
Wonderful.
I'm going to Maui. So
yes, that's so great. And Kauai is good too. Both of them are marvelous.
Yes. I am looking forward to it.
So your 50th anniversary, fantastic.
Yeah, my 50th birthday. Yeah.
And it's Clarissa, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yes. Great.
Yeah.
And your husband's name?
Robbie.
Robbie.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
That's what we call it.
Robbie. All right. I see more. Europe. Yes. Italy. Paris and Switzerland, says Josette. I love Italy. I have a story about Paris. My mom and dad put me on an airplane when I was 16 to Paris by myself. And that was the first trip I ever took by myself. I was scared, but my godmother lived in Paris. And so I got to spend the whole summer there and be with her and fend for myself and see the other part of the world. And that is a trip that I will always cherish. Yes.
And you're going to Hawaii for your...
And I'm going to Hawaii. Yes. Thank you, Josette. Yes, Lucinda.
I'm much easier to please. I like to go to the mountains.
Oh,
I can go up there any weekend and I can feel a different atmosphere from Southern California. It's completely different and it's just so easy and can just snap my fingers and I'm up there, in the mountains and the big trees and the air and, just being there just fills me up, makes me happy.
Oh, I love that. I love that so much. And I went to Idlewild for the first time in February, and being in those mountains and getting to experience that with the snow and
that's what's super great. I'm from the East Coast also. And so, to experience the change of seasons. I mean, I live in Altadena also. It's pretty much the same year in and year out. I mean, it changes a little bit, and we're all like, oh, it's raining. But to go to the mountains at different seasons and know that those changes are taking place, and feel that chill in wintertime. We think we get chill here. We don't really.
No, we don't. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And that is what I did love about Boston so much, was just really experiencing those 4 seasons in the same city. So thank you so much for sharing, Lucinda. All right, I think we have another comment. Okay, all right. Josette says, how wonderful. Awesome. Well, thank you all for sharing some of your favorite places to visit. I'm going to share 2 places that I really love. I got married in Costa Rica. So that is one of my favorite places.
I've been there, yes.
Yeah. Yes, so that's where I got married.
EFS student there too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Kenji Quiros.
I was on the Pacific side, so I didn't get to go on the Caribbean side yet.
Well,
but next time, maybe next time. And then I also really loved Portugal. I loved the southern part of Portugal. Was so beautiful. Well, all of Portugal is really great, but I really loved the beaches in the Algarve. That was a lot of fun. All righty, well, let me share a little bit. I'm going to transition and chat a little bit about my book, which I have here, but I'm in a virtual room, so I don't know if my book's going to disappear, but here it is. It's called Painting Your Path. And I started writing this book because I don't know about all of you, but for me in my life, I tended to pivot every several years because I just always felt like in life, there were different things that I wanted to experience. I'm the daughter of 2 immigrant parents who came to the United States from the Philippines. They're both physicians, and they wanted to make a new life here in the United States. And so they're very practical people. And I remember my mom telling me or asking me, what do you want to be when you grow up? And I said, I want to be an artist. And she just kind of laughed and she said, oh, child, you'll be rich and famous after you're dead. So maybe you need to think about doing something else. And at the time I didn't understand. And so I just thought, okay, well, maybe I'm not the best decision maker. You know, I'm 5 years old. So let me just listen to my mom and dad. And so I lived, I would say, most of my life wanting to please them, wanting to do the right thing. And so I just kind of grew up not fully expressing myself. And so that carried over with the different jobs that I did. But what happened was I always knew I was an artist. I always knew I loved helping people. So those were always my through lines. Oh, Barbara, do you have a question? I thought I saw a hand raised.
And the name of your book, Clarissa?
Painting Your Path.
Painting Your Path.
Painting Your Path, yes.
Wonderful.
And thank you. And I'm just sharing a little background to you know, have it make more sense to why I started writing the book. But in my life, every so often, I just kind of got to a place where I was like, you know what, I'm not fully happy what I'm doing in my life. So with every job transition that I had, what I discovered was, I feel like I'm getting a little bit closer to doing what really feels in alignment with who I am, if that makes sense.
Yes.
So in my career, I started out doing retail management. That was the very first job I ever got. And it was interesting. It was where I learned how to manage people. And what I really loved out of that job was collaborating with other organizations and advertising and marketing. So that's really what I gleaned from that job. And then I pivoted and I got into graphic design because I thought, well, you know what? I'm an artist. Maybe that's a really good job for me. That's kind of creative. I kind of get to use my art skills there. So I did that for a really long time. And then life happens. And I just thought, you know what? I feel like I've been there, done that. Can you relate? Do you feel like you have, have you ever worked in a job and you just kind of exhausted that job? And so what I was really noticing about that position was I was no longer interested in graphic design. Instead, I was really becoming more interested in things like communication, team building, leadership development. And this is where that love for helping people and working with people really started to come back to me. And so I decided, you know what, I'm going to go back to grad school and I'm going to do the schooling that I really wanted to do, not what I felt like my mom and dad wanted me to do. So I ended up getting my doctorate in organizational psychology. And I really became interested in coaching and leadership development. And so with that, my last career was in that field. And it was my dream job. It was what I felt like from the corporate perspective, that's what I really am meant to do in the workplace. And so I did that for 11 years and I got promoted along the way. And then once again, I started having that feeling again, okay, I think it's time to make a shift. And this is when I started to write the book, because I also knew that in the end, I wanted to work for myself. And so around 2018, I was really having that feeling again of, is this really what I want to do with the rest of my life? Am I really living my life the way that I want to? Is it time to pivot again? And so I decided to write a book to kind of just journal about how I was feeling. And I put on my organizational psychology hat and I said, you know what, I'm going to treat this pivot as kind of like a research problem. And so I decided to interview other women who were 40 and over and just ask them, the women that I wanted to connect with were women who decided to leave their day job mainly to pursue work that they were really inspired to do. And so in my book, I interviewed 21 women and just kind of all asked them, tell me about your journey and what did it take from you to make that final shift to do whatever it is that you really wanted to do. And with that, I also created an art piece for each of the ladies that I interviewed. That was my thank you to them for their time, their energy, sharing their wisdom. And my gift was to have them tell me what is their favorite quote. So what is a quote that they live by, and to tell me what their favorite color or colors were. And from that, I would paint a painting for them. But really, Painting Your Path is all about our individual journey, and really just asking that question, am I really doing what I really want to be doing in life? And knowing that can change and that we all can pivot, we can all make a new path, we can all break out a new canvas if we want. And every day is a new day to start over and over again. And as I finished wrapping up my interviews with these 21 wonderful women, each of them asked me, well, are you going to share your story in this book? And to be honest with you, I was a little scared to share my story because I was working in a company, in an organization, and I felt, would it be weird if, here I am talking about how I want to leave my job and paint a new path. And oh my gosh, what if my boss reads this book? What if somebody at work reads this book? And then I just said, okay, Clarissa, get over yourself. Like this story is more about, you know, bigger things than one company. And so all the ladies in my book gave me the courage to share my story. And I think I kind of wrote it in a way that said, I'm leaving, but I'm not leaving, you know, if that even makes any sense. And what I also wrote in this book that I would love to share with you is just a framework that I have used my entire life to help me achieve my goals and my vision. And I call it the Painting Your Path framework. So feel free to write any of this down if you would like. You don't have to, but it might be helpful for you too. So in my Painting Your Path framework, which is also written out in my book, I like to talk about step one being dream, because I think when we're children, it is so easy for us to dream and use our imagination, make things up, make up stories, have our imaginary friends. And then as we get older, maybe that imagination fades away sometimes. Maybe it's true for you, maybe it's not. But I always like to say, start off with a dream. What is it that you want to do in life? And like Prakash says, he wants to play the harmonica. And maybe he'll paint a harmonica first, but it all starts with a dream and a vision of what it is that you want to do. And in just a little while, we'll go through a meditation, and I'm going to take you through some more journaling prompts. But the first one in my Painting Your Path framework is starting off with a dream. And then step two is making a decision, is deciding this dream is worth pursuing. This goal is worth pursuing. I'm decided I'm going to do it. I'm going to commit to this goal or this vision, this dream. And that is step two, is deciding. It is done. And then step three is just making a plan. Making a plan to take your dream and put it to action. And you can just ask yourself, well, what is one thing that I can do to make my dream, my goal, a reality? What is one step I can take? And no step is too small or too great, but what is one thing I can do? Make your plan. And then step four, I like to call it be brave. Be brave, take a step. And it's all about taking that action step to maybe take out a blank piece of paper or a canvas and to take out the paints that you already have and just put them on the table. And that could be your step for a day. It doesn't matter. You don't have to do everything all at once. And then once you take that step and you're brave and you take that action, step five is to just reflect on the actions that you have taken. And little steps every day equal big steps in the grand scheme of things. And I always like to take a moment to do some reflection after I've taken some action toward my goal or my vision. And so that is my 5-step framework for painting your path. And I'm just going to pause right now. Thank you, Petite. Does anybody have any questions for me at the moment?
Oh, it just sounded so wonderful. Such a process.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right. And if no one has any questions, what I would love to do is transition. And Karen, is this okay to transition now?
Oh yeah,
okay.
Absolutely.
So what we're going to do now is a little bit of a guided meditation to just prepare ourselves for the journaling portion of our time together. And so I'm just going to read from my book. And the purpose is just to get us in a relaxed and open state of being. And you can, if you want, you can turn off your camera if you would prefer to just, you know, don't have any, just to go within if you would like, because I'm going to ask you to close your eyes, or you can be on camera. And if you don't want to do the meditation, you can just relax. So here we go. We're going to get into a relaxed state. So sit comfortable in a position with your back against a chair and your feet firmly on the floor. Good. Uncross your legs and your hands and rest them in a relaxed position in your lap. Gently let your eyes close. Easily take several deep breaths and slowly release them. With each breath, let your eyes relax and let your body release any tension that is there. Good. Notice any sounds or movement in the room and release your attention from these sounds and movements. Let any thoughts you have come into your consciousness and then let them go. Good. Let any emotions you have come into your consciousness and then release these emotions. Good. Let any pictures from the past come into your consciousness and then release these pictures from the past. Good. Now you are sitting comfortably in your chair. You have let go of any noises or movements in the room. You have released all your tensions, thoughts, emotions, and pictures from your past. Good. Now focus your attention on your feet and your legs. If there is any tension there, let it go. Now focus your attention on your abdomen and lower body. If there is any tension there, let it go. Good. Now focus your attention on your chest, your shoulders, and arms. If there is any tension there, release it. Good. Now focus your attention on your neck, your head and your face. If there is any tension there, release it. Now you are fully relaxed and open to whatever is there for you. Good. Now let go of all the images you have had in your mind and just relax. Good. Remain in a relaxed and peaceful place. Let any feelings, any thoughts or pictures come into your mind and then let them go. Now begin to feel the back of your chair next to your body and the floor under your feet. Begin to return your attention to the room. Begin to hear the noises in the room. Notice any movement in the room. And as I count to 5, return your attention back to the room. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now you can open your eyes and say hello to someone in the room.
Nobody's in the room except for all of
Hello.
everybody on Zoom. Yay.
Say hello to someone in the Zoom room.
Hey, wonderful.
Hello, hello. Welcome
Hello.
back, everyone.
Hi.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, Janice. Hopefully
Oh,
everyone is
Janice.
feeling relaxed.
Yes, thank you.
Yes,
That was
feeling good.
wonderful. Yeah.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Mhm.
All right. So we are in the journaling piece of our time together. And all you need is a piece of paper and a pen. And I'm just going to read some questions under some categories. And the first one, the first category is called self, S-E-L-F. So we're thinking about ourselves. And I would love for you to envision yourself living to your fullest potential, demonstrating all your talents and your strengths. What are the qualities you possess? So that is one of the questions. What are the qualities you possess? Just jot them down.
This is some lecture by a lady who's written a book on painting your path. Painting your path.
Painting?
Your path.
That's right. And then the next question after that. So the first question is, what are the qualities you possess? And then the next part is, what brings you joy and happiness? And I think what I'll do is I'll also write it in the chat just in case anybody needs to see it. So the first category is self, and the questions are, what qualities do you possess? What brings you joy and happiness.
It is.
So those are the two questions under self.
When they speak that slowly.
All right. And just let me know when you are ready. Just give me a thumbs up if you
Alexa,
are ready for the next
set
question.
the alarm at 11:35.
It's 12,
Ready.
12:15 already.
Okay. I know. All right. So Josette is ready. I'm going to go to the next section. The next section is health. And the question for the journal prompt for health is, what kind of activities and thoughts can help you achieve and continue your vision of health?
Good activities
and thoughts can help you achieve and continue your vision of health. And what I forgot to say is to first imagine yourself in your healthiest form. So that is really important. Imagine yourself in your healthiest form. And what kind of activities and thoughts can help you achieve and continue your vision of health? And I'll put that in the chat because that was a lot of words.
Chat. Oh, where do I find the chat? Oh, she's got a lot of chats there, huh?
There's lots going on. And I'm writing the prompt because I said a lot of words. Your vision of health. There we go.
Neat.
And then after this section of health, we just have one more.
Okay.
And let me know when you are ready. I see some nodding heads. Ready. Okay. The last piece is all about enriching activities. So thinking about your hobbies, thinking about adventures and your personal aspirations.
Enriching your
activities. Yes.
Activities.
So thinking about your hobbies, adventures, all the things that you are continuing to aspire to do.
Hobbies. Adventures, did you say?
Yes, adventures. And personal aspirations.
And aspirations. Wonderful.
Yes. So the prompt for that is, what are these activities? What are these activities? And the second part is, what do they contribute to enriching and rounding out your life? And I'll put that in the chat as well, because it's a lot.
To enrich. And thoughts. Okay. What are these activities?
What are these activities? And what do they contribute
to enrich and contribute
and rounding out your life?
And
there we go.
And what did you say?
Enriching and rounding out your life.
Oh, enriching and rounding out your life. Oh, yes.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Yes, you're
Wonderful.
so welcome.
Wonderful.
Yeah, I hope that was fun. That's the point. And I would love for and you don't have to, but if anybody would like to share anything that they've written down, I just want to give you the opportunity, the space to share anything you've written down with us.
Oh, with
yes,
you?
Karen.
Well, I just want to say that this exercise just underscored something that I already know, but the importance of looking around and making sure you're in touch with what you're doing and where you're at. It underscores the very fact that the impoverished life and the rich life have nothing to do with money. They have everything to do with your state of mind, your sense of gratitude, your acknowledgement of the challenges in life that go hand in hand with the joys in life. And, I think sometimes with a few years on you, you think about these things more, but I think I've been pretty much in touch with that for a very long time. And it's really nice to be able to pay attention to right where you're at. And it helps you figure out where you want to go.
Yes, beautifully said, Karen.
Painted path for me.
Yes.
I am going to start painting more, but I am an artist. So, this is something I've done all my life. Mm-hmm. This is a really good exercise, but that's kind of where my mind went when I was making my notes here.
I love it. Thank you so much for sharing. Beautifully said. Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna take my shot here because I have to go back to work and this is my lunchtime and I jumped into this Zoom meeting. I am very interested in the Painting Your Path, and I didn't write down anything, but I have your points here that I wrote down that I can think of probably when I have a moment. And I just wanted to share that I said I was going into retirement soon. And in that retirement, I hope to achieve the things that were secondary to me in the past. And now I would like to make them a priority. I still feel that I haven't reached my potential in the sense that I have not done what you, Clarissa, have done. Giving yourself the opportunity to branch out and experience the things that you wanted to do. I didn't have that. I had a family, so I have to first take care of my family. And so now that they're all grown up and out of the house and have their own families, I can focus on myself and hopefully achieve the things that I didn't get to before because it has to take secondary. So that's where I am. And
thank you for sharing.
Yeah. My last question is before I leave and I wish I can stay for as long as this is going to last, but I can't because I'm here at work. And but the last thing I wanted to ask is, I know your credentials, I read it, and so do you practice? And if you do, how do I get a hold of you?
Oh, you can reach out to me. I can drop my email address.
Okay, that would
How's
be
that?
great. Yes, that would be wonderful.
Thank you. And also,
Yeah.
I want to make sure everyone knows that Clarissa's book is available on Amazon. It's also available at Vroman's.
Oh yeah, great.
And,
I will definitely get one of
yeah.
that. I mean that.
And you know, I
Thank
think
you.
your plan for your retirement is beautiful.
Oh,
and
thank
I
you.
hope that you also look into
too.
Pasadena Village, because that's really our mission, to age with full engagement and joy, and to really fulfill ourselves in that final lap. But
I would love to, Karen, and this is the first time I've heard of it. So where do I find your information?
Go to PasadenaVillage.org.
Got it.
Yes. And you can always call and find out when we're having a coffee. We have coffees twice a month. You can just come and find out about the village.
Clarissa, yeah, I will do that. And Clarissa at Clarissa Studio. I will reach out to you, Clarissa, and see if there's anything that we can do together, either as mentoring and psychological. You come from the same school as my niece in Boston, so
oh my gosh,
yeah, and we are both
I love it.
And we are both Filipinas.
Yes,
so,
I love that, Josette.
Okay, so I want to say goodbye to everybody. Nice meeting you all.
Thank you for coming.
I will, yeah, Karen, I hope I can talk to you more in this Pasadena Village, and glad to meet all of you. I have to go. Thank you for your time. Clarissa, I will reach out to you.
Thank you for coming.
Do.
Okay,
Thanks,
thank
Josette.
you. Bye-bye.
All right,
bye-bye.
Bye.
Oh, I have a question, Karen.
Yes,
Karen, is the PasadenaVillage.org, is that all lowercase?
Oh, Petite, that's the website for our village.
Yes, right. Well, I belong to the web.
Yes, I know you do. It's all lowercase. Mm-hmm.
All lowercase. Okay,
yeah.
That's like my email.
Yeah.
Village. Okay, and it's all run together.
Yes.
Okay, except .org.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
This is a good exercise on so many levels.
I'm so glad. And I did want to address Karen. I know Karen had a question because you said you were feeling a little bit stuck. And I'll just share what works for me, but everybody is different, but maybe this will be helpful for you to, get your wheels turning again. Okay. But so whenever I feel stuck, what I like to do is get up and go outside. And maybe you already do that one. And I like to just get outside and be in nature and meditate a little bit. And just completely disengage from everything. Mm-hmm. So I'm not so up here in my mind. And usually whenever I get stuck, that's where it's because I have too much in my head. And then the other thing that I do is I will also do very light movement like yoga or stretching, just to
that's a good idea.
Get the blood flowing in the body so that you are feeling more in your body. And I have given up on jumping around and running because my knees hurt, my ankles hurt already. And so I just like doing stretches, yoga, things like that, just to help, process things and move them around. And then another thing I like to do, I'm not sure if you have read the book, The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron.
I have it.
You have it. So
I
one thing
couldn't
that
commit to all of that.
Karen.
I know.
Maybe it's time to read it again.
Yeah, because what might be helpful, Karen, is the morning pages to just write down whatever's on your mind. And I remember one time my morning pages was literally the word blah, blah, blah. It was 3 pages of the word blah, 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 because I literally was so blocked. I just wrote blah, blah, blah. And then I was like, okay, well, that's done and out of the way. And that might help too, Karen, is just maybe getting into some morning pages writing where you're just, it doesn't even matter. It could be your grocery list. It could be anything, just to get the handwriting again.
Going, right. Well, I do write every morning.
Okay.
But
is it
become
a poetry blog?
Less creative and more kind of a journal. You know, this is what I did yesterday, and this is what I'm planning to do today. And sometimes I write, what do I feel about it? But sometimes I one of the things I thought is I got to get out of the city. I'm really stuck with not much access to outside, and I mean, I can go outside, but I mean, I live in the city, surrounded by streets.
Right. Yeah. Maybe just going to a different scenery.
Right.
Yes.
And I got all hung up with punctuation when I was doing the 3 pages. It was terrible. I said, stop this, just write. Well, I couldn't.
Yes.
Punctuation and capitals and stop.
Yeah. And just let yourself be free. Oh, well, I hope that helps a little bit.
Thank you. I appreciate your remarks and your assistance.
Yeah, you're so welcome. Thank you, Prakash, for being here. It was nice to meet you. Yeah, this was so fun.
This is great. And I actually am going to be following up with you, Clarissa, because I have another presentation I'd like you to do. So we'll talk about it. But I appreciate this, and this was really valuable. And it also underscored some things I already have come to believe, and that was good too. I like your perspective on things. And,
thank you.
Your book sounds really interesting.
Yes.
Because we learn from other people's experiences. So thank you
absolutely.
so much.
You're so very welcome. You're so very welcome. This was so much fun. I had so much fun with all of you. Thank you for being here. It was nice to meet all of you. And like I said, this was my highlight of the week, and it's only Tuesday, but this was already my highlight of the week. I was telling Karin, like, I've been looking forward to this day, and I'm so grateful that I got to meet all of you.
And did we meet your expectations?
Oh, 100%, more than 100%.
Of course.
Yes.
Good.
Thank you so much, Clarissa.
You're
we'll be in touch very soon.
That sounds great. All right,
thank you everyone for coming today and participating. It's great.
Yes, thank you for playing full out. It was nice hearing and learning about you too.
Yeah.
All righty. Take care.
All right. Thanks.
All right. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Oh, bye-bye. Wow. Our little